Hey everybody, welcome back. Coach Ricci here with 5-Star Atlantic Baseball. We're going to jump right in. We're going to talk about habits this week as promised. Habits, this is what creates who you are. So there's a speech that's been going around. It's been viral if you're on Twitter, Facebook, everything. It's Matthew McConaughey accepting an award. And one of the things he says in that speech is that his hero is him 10 years from now, 10 years out. And to me that was truly inspiring because this idea of growth mindset that we just finished talking about, he said that he's never there. He's going to constantly be working to get better. And the way he's going to do that is through his habits, right? His identity now is not who he wants to be. He wants to be like him in 10 years. And when he gets there, he wants to be like him in 10 years. But this idea of identity, if you go to the root words of identity, it's literally repeated being, as in you're constantly being that. That is your identity. So your habits, that is what makes up your identity. So by your habits, you're actually going to create who you are. So whoever it is that you want to be, whoever you want to be in 10 years, your habits are going to be what gets you there. That's going to create that identity. There's a really great book that's out. It's Atomic Habits by James Clear. He talks about some big ideas here in terms of habits, but one of the main ones is that tiny changes can affect big results. Right? If you make these small changes now with your lifestyle habits, the things you do day in and day out, they're going to have a big result in the long run. You use this 1% idea that we just finished talking about. You heard it in the compound effect from Darren Hardy, but this 1% idea that every single day, if you just get 1% better over and over and over again, how good is that really? Well, 1% better every single day for an entire year is actually 37 times better than you started. So if I started on January 1st and I said, I'm going to get 1% better at this every day, day in and day out, and you tracked it, and every day you made that 1% progress, you will be 37 times better at whatever that is on January 1st of the next year than you were on January 1st of the year in which you started that. That's incredible. That right there is the magic of compound interest. Right? But there's also danger if you ever veer off path, right? Because you're not going to make that ground back up. They're saying if you were to send a flight from Los Angeles, California to New York City, and that was your goal, your beginning destination was Los Angeles, you're trying to get to New York, and you started that flight just about 3.5 degrees off, you were just slightly off, you're maybe pointing 90 inches in the wrong direction when you took off, you would end up in Washington, D.C. Now, anybody from this area here knows how far of a drive that is from Washington, D.C. to New York City. That is a big mistake from just being a little bit off, 3.5% off. And so when you have these habits need to be repeated consistently day in and day out. And you can't allow yourself that margin for error as well. You need to be consistent in the way that you're practicing these positive habits. And the last thing is you can't give up hope. That James Clear said this is incredibly important, is you have to know it takes time. Right? There's going to be this plateau effect where you continue to grow and build and grow and build, but you're not going to be there quite yet. Right? This idea of latent potential that's building up over time, that latent potential is you. Right? You go to the gym and you work out today, you might not notice anything different in the mirror. And you go back and you work out again tomorrow, you might not notice anything different. But over time, the transformations that are happening in terms of your physical fitness are just astronomical. The things that your body's doing, the strength that you're building, your cardiovascular endurance, things you can't even see within your body are improving. And that's because of this latent potential. So you have to stay with it, even when the results aren't right there, right? We want it now. In today's society, we want things now. But that's not the way it works. With latent potential, you might not get it now, but the gain you're going to get is so much more powerful down the road, right? Thank you, James Clear, for that awesome point, right? Now, here's the idea is, you can't master something from the start of the year saying, you know what, next year I'm going to be 37 times better at that, and then not have a plan to get there. You just can't do that, right? That's my second point, is you just can't do that. You can't just say, I'm going to be 37 times better, and then wake up a year from now and be 37 times better. There's got to be a game plan. And a period of a year is too big of a period. A period of a month, a period of a week, that's a long time to stick with something. But if you make smaller goals and you say, you know what, I'm going to form this positive habit, and I'm going to do it for 10 minutes today. We can do anything for 10 minutes, right? Just like in the game of baseball, is I'm going to focus in on getting better this one pitch, right? You might not be able to do anything for 240 pitches consistently. That's a lot of pitches. But for one pitch, you can focus on that one thing. And then after that one's over, you can focus on the next one, right? But this is how habits are. These are the tiny changes that make up these big transformations. That's the big idea we're talking about here. Now, there's a really great book out, and a guy named Hal Elrod, he did research on what the most successful people in the world do every single day. And he came up with this list. And it's a cute acronym. He calls them SAVERS, right? He said they practice silence, they practice affirmations, they practice visualization, they exercise, they read, and they scribe, as in like they journal, right? Big ideas here. Really big ideas. We could make talks and talks and talks about each one of these individually. But the idea is this, is every morning they wake up with a purpose and they dedicate just a little bit of time to those things, right? They wake up, they meditate, they have silence in their life. They have time to think and to rejuvenate their mind. They give themselves positive self-talk. They make a point to schedule it, and that's a very good positive habit. It might only take 30 seconds for you to look yourself in the mirror and give yourself a positive affirmation that could potentially transform your entire life. Visualization, they see success. They're actually looking at themselves in 10 years, like Matthew McConaughey was talking about. He's actually looking at that guy. What does that look like? How does that person carry themselves? What do they do on a daily basis to become that? Right? They visualize. Exercise, we're talking about that in terms of a baseball career. This is incredibly important that you maintain your body and your physical well-being. This is your asset, right? This is what allows you to play the game that you love. This is what allows you to go and compete day in and day out. If you don't take care of this, then you're not a baseball player. You could be so many other fantastic things, but without this part right here, your body, right? This is the asset that you have that's going to help get you the opportunity to play in college, help get you the opportunity to play professionally and make money. It's your body. You got to take care of it. You got to exercise, right? You got to give it the right things. Reading, you got to give your mind the right things. Picking these things to read, right? One of my favorite passions is reading, right? Any of these books that I'm mentioning, go ahead, pick them up and start reading them. It's amazing all the wonderful stories that they have and the ideas that are going to inspire you to become the best version of you that you could possibly be. And we're just talking about the topic of habits right now. So pick up a book and read it, and then journaling, right? Journaling is a great way to track your progress on these habits, right? It's cool to start a journal and you work on it, maybe even just 5 minutes a day. Write down some ideas of what you're going after, how you made progress towards that day. But then look back on that after doing that for a month. And then look back on that after doing it for 2 months, right? But this is tracking your progress day in and day out. And to look where you were 2 months ago to where you are now, you'll see that the adversity that you went through, the struggles that you made, making this initial shift in habits, making this initial change, had this dramatic impact, right? These tiny changes with these huge outcomes. That's this habit right here. So pick up that book, Hal Elrod, Miracle Morning is fantastic. And you don't just have to do it in the morning. I know the title says the morning, but if you do it after school, you do it during your lunch break, you do it before bedtime. If you get these things done every single day, these are habits that you can build in that are going to give you success for a lifetime in whatever your endeavors are. Right? So here's the ideas for you. Things that you could do that you might not be doing now. Make your bed every morning. Start the day off with a win. I know this is huge in the military. They wake up, they make their bed so tight they can bounce a quarter on it. That's a win, right? Make your bed. Just by accomplishing that task, you start the day off on the right foot. Right? Do that. Meal prep. Right? If you're a guy who needs to work on your diet and the fuel that you put in your body, right? You have a bad habit of cramming a bunch of crap in your face. Don't do that. Meal prep. Hey, every Sunday I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my lunches for the whole week. I'm going to take chicken breast and broccoli to school, right? It might not be the greatest tasting thing, but the impact on that for the longevity of your life, for the success of your body and its physical development, and the health of your body and your baseball career is dramatic, right? That's a positive habit that you can make. Take an hour on a Sunday and you have 5 meals for the week that are good, healthy meals that are going to fill your body with the right things. That's a great way to challenge yourself, right? Come up with affirmative thoughts that you're going to tell yourself. Put them on a Post-it note, stick it on the mirror. Get in the habit of telling yourself that I bring a positive attitude to every challenge I face, right? Simple habit that's going to help you realize that when you get to that point of adversity, don't turn around and go the other way, but go right through it and right into it and tell yourself that that is who you are, right? Just like Matthew McConaughey, who am I in 10 years? Write down what that person is. Write down what that person does. And then go ahead and identify that in your affirmation that this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is how I carry myself, right? These are the changes that you can make in your life. These are the positive habits that you can start building that are going to have dramatic impact on your baseball career and your success in the game of life. So again, habits, this is where we create who we are. So go create who you're going to be.